I want to bring the conversation back to the question of whether or not it should be something that we are uncomfortable doing.
Right.
Because there's a lot of denominations out there. I was born and raised in a Pentecostal denomination through the 80s and 90s. It was my fault if my friend did not accept Christ. If a non-believer friend of
And see, it should be up to the individual whether or not they accept Christ.
mine, I was not doing my job if they didn't believe. And it was such a pressure.
Yeah.
And we were taught things like go door to door every single time you ride the bus with them. Make sure you sit next to them and make sure you constantly bring it up. It was this constant pressure.
And no one's going to accept pressure. They'll just push away the pressure.
I started to kind of think of witnessing. Instead of go and tell the good news, witnessing became almost like this drudgery for me, like this chore. And I hated it. And if you hate it when you go into it, it's not going to be anointed.
Right.
I mean, can we just be honest?
Exactly.
If you go to somebody and say, Jesus saved me, nobody's going to buy that.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Yeah,
I want to get some of that, please.
Yeah. How can I be depressed too?
tell me what church you go to, so I can make a note to never
Church of Infinite
darken that
Sorrows.
doorway. Yeah, exactly. But that's how it was to me. And I remember one of the very first times, and I'll make this quick, one of the very first times that I witnessed is so adorable. I don't normally just walk around saying something I did was cute, but this was really cute. I was like 8 or 9, and this girl like rollerbladed around my house in my little cul-de-sac that I lived on. And I told her one day, if I had $35, I would give it right now for you to say the sinner's prayer. That was how I thought I had to witness to this little girl. So she didn't say the sinner's prayer. So the next day I came out, if I had $45. I mean, I didn't have a cent. I didn't have a plug nickel. But I was just saying anything I could because my church had programmed me to think that if I didn't convert every single non-Christian that I met, that it was my fault and that their eternity was on me.
Right.
So I want to come back to the question of, is it something that you should be worried about your own comfort level? First of all, I don't think that you can always go into a witnessing opportunity and say, I'm not going to witness because I'm comfortable or uncomfortable, because serving the Lord is not about your own comfort. On the other hand, I personally strongly believe that certain people are called for certain kinds of witnessing because witnessing is a ministry.
Yeah.
For instance, we know Casper McLeod. I have personally sat and watched Casper McLeod do things I would never be comfortable doing, and he'll go to a steakhouse or something with him, and he'll just start reading somebody's mail and start leading them to the Lord right there at the table, and I'm like, bless you, Casper McLeod. I'm not gonna ask the guy who's refilling my coffee if he wants to go through a big long theological dissertation and
I'm right there with you.
But it's not because I think that's silly. I've watched Casper do it. It's because God has given me a voice and me a certain kind of witnessing opportunity.
Exactly.
And he's given Casper a different one, and you've got Josh and Wes and everybody. It's like God instills within you what is your witnessing tool. So don't believe the lie that a lot of Christians, that a lot of denominations are giving right now, that in order to be a witness, you have to do it in this way. Step out of the box and understand that if God has called you to witness, you're going to be able to do it with excitement and joy, even if it's also with trepidation. I'm nervous, but I feel like I'm going to, and I'm also kind of excited. That's a better feeling than the Lord loves me. Please come to my church. See what I'm saying? Anyway, I want to hear from Wes. He was about to say something.